Alright, hello, and welcome to another episode of A Talk with Tylin. I usually record with the ring light, but I happened to forgot it when I was coming back to college, so yeah, until I go back home, this is what you're gonna have to see. Or I could just turn the lights on, but then again, you can't see the cool Thor thing glowing right there, so no, I'm not gonna turn the lights on. Anyways, you guys voted for today's episode of A Talk with Tylin, which is the best and worst of 2022. I've been meaning to make this video, and I hope it's not too late because we're already in not really the middle of 2023, but all the 2022 videos, best of, worst of, all that stuff should be past tense in a way. But whatever, let's just go ahead and get that out the way with one of the best movies of 2022. That movie being Black Panther 2: Wakanda Forever. This is still a super good movie, man. I mean, even look at that pyramid poster. You guys know I absolutely hate pyramid posters, but this one I'll let slide. Again, this movie was packed with emotion. When it wanted to be sad, it was sad. When it wanted to be funny, it was funny. On top of that, there was some exciting action, and it also paid an amazing tribute to Chadwick Boseman. So in order to experience something good, you have to experience something bad. And if you guys can tell, I'm in my bathroom now. This whole video is just going to be me just moving around parts of my room. But like I said before, you have to experience some bad. And let's just say, I knew the bad was coming before it even came. To me, this game felt like a little quick cash grab that lacked little to no inspiration whatsoever. And I'm more than sure there's people out there that like this game, and more power to you. The game just seemed really lazy to me. And my biggest problem is you have it released as a next-gen exclusive, but it lacks the things that make the next-gen exclusive a next-gen exclusive. How and why is your game stuck at 30 FPS? Like at this point, 60 FPS should be the default for next-gen games. You can't charge me $70 and then give me the quality of a $40 game. But now that we've went through the trial and tribulations of experiencing something so bad, it's now time for us to experience something good. Now, what would be a best and worst of 2022 video without talking about one of the biggest comebacks of 2022? If you guys didn't know, this game is amazing. I literally had videos on my TikTok talking about how this game could make or break the Sonic franchise. And let's just say Sega didn't disappoint whatsoever. The gameplay is fun, the story is... Okay, the story's not that good, but this is the most connected I've felt playing as Sonic since, well, I don't even know. Definitely a good game I suggest everybody goes to check out. See, I gotta hit you guys with the best of 2022 by talking about God of War Ragnarok. Words can't describe how good this game is. The gameplay and boss fights are amazing. The story is, man, it gets me every time. This game is surprisingly really funny. And if you haven't checked this game out yet, what are you doing? Hurry up. Ragnarok came and went. It's over now. Get with the times. An honorable mention would be Elden Ring. Though I didn't play this game, it did beat God of War for Game of the Year, so I might as well put it in the best category. All my Elden Ring fans, put your hands up. Woo! Alright, jumping back into the movie category. One of the worst things of 2022 was this movie. I'd probably say it was the worst movie of 2022. They had the nerve to call this movie Halloween Ends, but you know what? This movie almost ended me. Do you see her face? That was me throughout this whole entire movie. It just sucks. That's literally all I can say. It sucks. Definitely a very crappy way to end this franchise. And at this point, I'd say that the Halloween franchise is one of the worst. But again, this movie sucks. There's really nothing else to it. It just sucks. But don't worry, you guys, the horror genre wasn't completely in shambles, as we had the Chucky series to come and save it. So if you guys didn't know, this show is actually on its second season. And personally, it's one of my favorite shows. If you guys are a fan of the old Child's Play franchise, you'll definitely love this show. Though I will say season 2 is a bit too goofy. There's still many likable characters. Shout out to Nadine. And for all my wrestling fans, they even had Liv Morgan on an episode. Also, for all my Chucky fans, if you're a fan of Chucky, I don't know why you're not watching this show yet. What's wrong with you? But Glinda came back, so that was fun. That was really fun to see. Anyways, it's a super fun show, and I suggest you guys go check it out. Now, the MCU in 2022, hey, that rhymed, wasn't necessarily bad. It was just highly disappointing. I mean, you had She-Hulk, which to me was insanely boring, Moon Knight, which was heavily disappointing, and Miss Marvel, which, honestly, I don't really have a take on Miss Marvel. I didn't even watch the show. But then you had complete and utter dumpster fire like Thor: Love and Thunder. But then you had films that could have been better, like Multiverse of Madness. But personally, even though I still think this movie could have been way better than it was, it's still one of my favorite superhero movies of this year. Shout out to America Chavez. Another movie I really enjoyed was Black Adam. Yep, this is going under the best category. I mean, it literally had everything I was looking for in this movie. Action, and Dr. Fate. I mean, come on guys, we literally got Dr. Fate on the big screen. What more can you ask for? You know what, I was going to bring Morbius up, but you know what, we're not going to talk about this one. It's definitely going into the worst category. And you guys want me to do a how to fix on the Sonyverse. But do you know what other movie was just an absolute banger? Sonic the Hedgehog 2. I mean, this movie was an absolute dream for Sonic fans. It gave us Super Sonic. It gave us Knuckles. It even gave us Tails. And let's not forget the cherry on top with Shadow the Hedgehog. This is definitely in my top 5 movies of 2022. Right in front of the Batman. I bet you thought I was going to say behind the Batman, didn't you? I mean, this movie's a fun little watch. To me, there was nothing really jaw-dropping or amazing about it. I mean, it's just another Batman film. But more than less, it's still going in the best of 2022 category. Now back to the worst category, I sadly have to put the Book of Boba Fett in there. Now don't get me wrong, Tamora Morrison and the woman that plays Finnick, they were pretty fun. But everything else about this show was just, it wasn't really needed. You guys let me know if you want to see a how to fix the Book of Boba Fett. I'd be glad to do it. Like they said, you know your show isn't good when the best episode doesn't even feature the main character. But hey, at least we got Thundercat in the episode. And Ahsoka. But like, what do Boba Fett and Ahsoka have to do with each other? Now that I think about it, what do Thundercat and Boba Fett have to do with each other? You know what, whatever, on to the next show. You know, I wish I could say I liked this show, but I'd be lying if I did. Obi-Wan Kenobi is the prime definition of a bait and switch. It's almost like you order something from online that looks really cool, but then you get it and it looks like absolute garbage. Like they promised us this, but gave us something like this in return. Also, the villain of this show was insufferable, and not in a good way. And then they tried to do another bait and switch and have you root for them at the end, and at that point I just didn't care. But we did get some really cool Vader scenes. Speaking of something really cool, this is definitely the #1 best TV show in 2022. It's filled with comedy, it's filled with action, and let's just say I'm dressing up as Soldier Boy for Halloween. Also, Rick and Morty actually had a good season this year. That last episode definitely has me excited for the future adventures these two are about to go on. And now for our final entry in the worst of 2022, I sadly have to put Dragon Ball Superhero. Now, this movie isn't necessarily bad, it's just really forgetful. The villains are forgetful. I personally can't think of a scene that stuck with me, you know? And we got introduced to one of the worst transformations in the entire franchise. Yeah, I said it. This sucks. But anyways, there you have it. That was my best and worst of 2022 video. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment. Let me know what was your best and worst of 2022. Yeah, with that being said, I'll see you guys later.